Can you hear me?
In a lotus pose, you can either just be in like a crisscross applesauce kind of seat, or you can bring one foot on top of the other. And if you have a pillow or something to sit on, I literally just took a pillow off my couch and it just gives me a little bit more um, comfortableness to sit into. So you can bring one foot on top of your left thigh and you can just leave the other one underneath, or you can reach for the other foot and set that on top of your right and slowly kind of stack your vertebrae on top of one another, creating a nice straight spine. Bring your hands to an open palm position on the tops of your knees. Letting your shoulders roll down your back, away from your ears, mindfully opening up through your chest. Now, for me in the mornings, I have a lot of tightness in my mid back. So I really like to take the time to check into that space and kind of slowly work into it and open it up. So if you have any spaces like your hips or your neck, um, just send your breath to that area and let it know that you are mindfully taking care of it. You can bring your eyes to close or look down the bridge of your nose. And check in with your breath. Feel the expansion in your belly. Notice if your rib cage is tight or open. How the breath feels going in and out of your nasal cavities. This is a good time to set an intention for your practice, especially this early in the morning, and you can carry it with you throughout your whole day. On your next exhale, we're going to drop the head slowly down. And we're going to gently roll it over to meet our left ear with our left shoulder. Now, again, since it's so early in the morning, we really have to be careful with how we treat our muscles and take some time to gently open them up. So even if we're able to be really flexible most of the time, the morning really needs a little bit extra slow movements. So inch that left ear towards your left shoulder and pull down through that right shoulder. Exhale, drop the head through neutral and roll over to the other side, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Do this a couple more times. Just move with your own breath. Feeling the stretch in the side, the back of your neck, down your spine. Massaging your throat chakra and enabling the power to speak your truth today. Our throat chakra is, of course, located in the throat, and it holds the power to speak our truth or to really express ourselves verbally. And now, a lot of times, this can be underactive or overactive. And if it is underactive, you have a hard time speaking up for yourself or saying what's on your mind. If it is under or overactive, you are overcompensating and speaking up too much as to not listen to the people around you or really listen to yourself. The color associated with the throat chakra is blue. And if you find that you need a little bit of extra love today, you can wear blue, eat blue foods, and practice speaking your truth. Take one more to each side and then come back to a neutral spine. We are gonna roll our shoulders all the way up, squeeze them really, 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 really tight up to your ears, and exhale, let them release. We're gonna do a couple shoulder rolls. So up and over to the front, really opening them up, nice wide circles. It's so hard for me to find like a fluid movement when I do this. It feels rigid and tight for me, so it takes a while to like make it comfortable. When you're ready, you can roll the other way, up into the back. You can take turns doing one and then the other. Take a couple more here. Come back to a still position and inhale, bring your hands above head. And we're going to exhale, bring our right behind us and our left to our right knee. A nice, gentle twist. Just to kind of wake up the spine. So meet yourself where you're at here. Especially being early, we might only be barely twisting and just gently looking over that right shoulder. You want to come back up, stretch all the way up and twist again. You're welcome to do that. Just being really kind to our spine. Inhale, arms back up, reach, reach, reach all the way up. Exhale, twist to the left. Gently looking over toward that left shoulder. Bringing out the spine and creating space after a hopefully restful sleep. One more breath, deep inhale. Exhale, bring your arms back above head. And we are going to bring our right arm over to the right side of the mat and our left arm to our left knee. And slowly start to crawl our right fingertips. And you can gently drop the elbow if you would like. If you have a block to put under your elbow, that would be nice too. And you can bring that left arm up above head and reach over towards the right. Feeling a nice stretch in your left side body, low back. Take your left shoulder blade and kind of roll it down your back to open up through your chest. Stay with your breath. Send it to the places that you're really feeling your deepest stretch. Inhale, come back up, both arms up overhead. Reach, 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 and flow over to the other side. Crawling those left fingertips over down your mat, reaching the right arm overhead. Option to drop the elbow if you feel that today, or you can keep your arms straight. Rolling your right shoulder down your back, opening through your chest. I invite you to close your eyes if they're not closed already, and check in with each part of your body. Are you holding tension in your neck? Holding your breath? Lean into the stretch in your low back, your hips. Take a couple more breaths here. Exhale, come all the way back up. You can bring your hands down to sides. And if you have a pillow, you can remove that. We're gonna switch to face the opposite side of our mat and bring our knees up to a little mountain position here. So you can spread your feet about hip width apart. And we're gonna bring our arms above head and slowly just let our spine kind of hang over our knees, letting the head drop down between the legs. By first reaching up and then folding over, we create space between our vertebrae to really allow the stretch and the full range of motion to happen and to avoid injury. So let your head hang heavy here. You can nod yes, slowly nod no. Find a little bit of fluidity in your neck. Leaning one ear over to your knee and then the other. When you're ready, we're gonna walk our hands back up to our knees and just put your feet out just a little bit wider, a little bit further away from your body here. We're gonna do the same thing. Arms above head and exhale, fold over our knees. Letting your head drape between your legs. Finding fluid movements or stillness, whatever feels right for your body this morning. Take 2 more deep rounds of breath, really filling up your belly to meet your thighs. Exhaling all of your air out. And slowly walking your hands back up. And this time we're going to kick our feet all the way out. Keeping them about hip width distance apart. Inhale one more time. And exhale over. Now be careful with your hamstrings here and be mindful about where you're bending to. So you might not be able to make it all the way over this morning, and that's totally fine. So just feel a gentle stretch in the back of your legs. As before, it's more of a stretch in our spine. When we have our legs all the way to the mat, we're definitely feeling it in our hamstrings. Try to keep a straight spine as you lean over. And with each exhale, you might be able to find yourself going just a little bit deeper. Keeping a little baby bend in your knees. Keeping your shoulders pulled down, your back. Tucking in your navel. Three more rounds of breath. Sending your breath to those places that are definitely feeling the stretch here. Backs of the thighs, calves, low back. Slowly bring yourself back to a straight spine. And we're gonna tuck our right foot into our left thigh. And we're gonna reach over our left foot. Inhale, arms above head, and reach over to the left. You might find you already have a little bit more flexibility after just doing that last stretch there. Slowly walk your hands back up. Switch sides, tucking in your left, sending out your right. Inhale, arms above head, and lean over your right leg. Letting your head drop down to go towards your knee. That's comfortable for you. Inhale, walk your hands back up your leg and bring the soles of your feet together into butterfly. And you can slowly kind of bring your heels towards your midline, towards your pelvis, or you can have them out here if that's not in your range today. And just finding some fluid movements, bouncing your knees up and down, keeping a straight spine, pulling your shoulders in towards one another. Roll your head from one side to the other. Definitely feeling your neck muscles being a little bit more woken up than they were when we started. We are going to tuck the knees and bring the knees underneath our hips and our hands underneath our shoulders into tabletop position. Go ahead and move through a couple cat-cows here. So inhale, drop the belly, tip the tailbone up, push through your shoulders and gently look up. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine and tuck the tailbone down. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Go ahead and move with your own breath here. When I do cat-cows, I really like to listen to what my body is asking for here. So if finding some wild movements is what feels really best for your body, I highly encourage you to listen to that and to just move in ways that feel good. You can send your hips one way and the other. Stretching through the left and the right side body. Making large or small circles with your hips. Rolling through your cat. And rolling back through the cow. We're going to come back to a neutral spine and take our right hand, reach it all the way up, 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 and exhale, thread the needle, sending it through under your left arm and placing your right shoulder on the floor, letting your heart sink heavy. Keeping your navel tucked in. Option to take your left hand and bring it up and to the small of your back. Option to keep it on the floor or just send it out wide in front of you. Giving our shoulder a nice gentle twist. Bringing out our spine. Take 2 more deep rounds of breath here. On your next exhale, bring your hand back underneath your shoulder and push up. Bring your right back underneath. And we're going to do the same thing with our left side. So take the left, reach it all the way up, and thread the needle, send it through, placing your left shoulder on the ground, being mindful not to put too much pressure on your neck and head, keeping your navel tucked in, bringing your hand out in front of you or up and over to the small of your back. Stay with your breath. One more deep inhale. And on the exhale, bring your hand back to under your shoulder. Push through. Come back to your tabletop position. We're going to tuck the toes and lift ourselves up into a downward facing dog. Take a minute here to walk your dog, set your posture up, pressing through each fingertip, clawing down into your mat, tucking in your navel. Give your knees a nice generous bend and stretch through the left and the right hamstrings. Take a couple more movements. Look up to the top of your mat and shift your weight forward into plank pose. Option 2, drop the knees or stay here and slowly chaturanga all the way down. Untuck the toes. Look up into baby cobra. Pulling your shoulders toward one another on your back. Keeping your hands and elbows engaged. Hugging yourself tight. Gently looking up. Tuck the toes. Push yourself back up into downward facing dog. We're going to slowly walk our feet toward our hands, being mindful with each step that we take, stretching through the backs of our legs as we need, staying generous with the bend. When you get to the top of your mat, ragdoll all the way over. Nice, generous bend in the back of your legs. Grabbing opposite elbow and opposite hand. Swaying back and forth. Nodding yes and no. And slowly stack each one of our vertebrae on top of one another as we root to rise, feeling the blood rush back to our head, keeping your head hanging, and lastly, bringing back all the way up. Feel the blood rush all the way through your body. We're going to send our arms out wide to a T. And we're going to bring our right arm underneath our left, tucking our elbows into one another, crossing them over, and trying to reach for our opposite hand into eagle arms. Slowly inching them up, feeling the stretch in your shoulders. Take a couple more rounds of breath. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, bring your arms above head. Exhale to a T, and this time we're going to cross opposite. So we're going to bring our left arm underneath our right arm and tuck our elbows into one another and reach for your hands to touch. If they don't touch, that's definitely okay. Reach, reach, reach all the way up. One more round of breath. Exhale, release. We're going to face our mat horizontally, and we're going to open up to a wide leg stance. Inhale, arms above head, and exhale, hinge at the hips, and slowly fold over with a nice bend in the back of your knee. Being mindful of your hamstrings. Let your head hang heavy. We're going to lean over to our left, facing our right toes toward the edge of our mat. Our left toes are still parallel with the edge of the mat, and sink over into a side lunge. Keeping your spine straight, coming to a seat behind you if you need to, or staying up on your feet here. Really nice stretch in that right inner thigh. Inhale, push yourself back up to center, and exhale over to the opposite side. Bringing those left toes off the mat. Feeling the stretch in your left inner thigh. If you need to come to a seat, hugging in that right knee to your right elbow, staying active through your left toes. When you're ready, you can come to a seat if you haven't, and you can release that right leg, meeting it over here with the left. Bring yourself into the center of your mat and grab behind your knees and roll yourself down into a laying position. You can rock back and forth a couple times, giving your kidneys a nice gentle massage. Getting crazy at 6 a.m. And bring your legs out wide. Reaching your hands above head for a full body stretch. You can take your left leg and cross it over your body. And send your left arm out long. Nice gentle twist in your spine. You can bring your right hand to the top of your left knee and look over your left shoulder. And see how many toys are underneath your couch. Inhale, come back to center and send the right leg over the left side body and reach over to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine, sending the legs out wide, taking up as much space as you need to, sending your arms out wide, palms facing up as a signal to be accepting of whatever life is going to throw at you today. You can let your eyes drift closed. Release the furrow in your brow. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Feel your shoulders and your chest sink heavy into the back of your mat. Feeling the pressure of your tailbone connecting to your mat. Relaxing through your knees and your ankles. Send your breath back to your throat chakra that we talked about earlier. Breathe your power into your throat chakra and know that whatever comes up today, you will speak your truth. You won't shrink or puff up. You will just stand your sacred ground. You can take a few more moments here in Savasana. Or if you're ready, you can roll over to your right or your left side and slowly set yourself up into a seated position. You're welcome to stay in Savasana for a few more moments, but I went a little bit over my time. So I just want to say namaste and thank you for joining me and getting up this early and moving your body today. Have a lovely Friday.